You can be successful, hardworking, and disciplined and still feel empty inside. I know this because I was that guy. I was a national team swimmer. I built a successful business. I even ranked at the top of Google for how to become smarter. And yet inside, something just felt empty. The problem wasn't that I wasn't smart enough. The problem was that I was living almost entirely in my head. And I believe that now in 2026, every man has to make a critical decision. Are we going to keep existing in here, in the head where the ego lives? Or are we going to have the courage to move down here into the heart and start to reconnect with our soul? See, for hundreds of years, men have been taught to play the game of life by using their minds and disconnecting from their emotions. It was like that for our grandpas. It was like that for our dad's generation, and somehow that got passed on to us. If you think back on the school system, the whole thing was about training the head, and there was nothing about the heart. In fact, we were actively discouraged from connecting with our emotions. We're told that crying was for girls, that vulnerability was a sign of weakness, and that being sensitive, it made us a wuss. And of course, none of us wanted to be a wuss or to be weak. So what did we do? We learned to think a lot and feel very little. Personally, I did that for years. And the great irony is that I'm actually a pretty sensitive guy at the core. But I realized very quickly that that just wasn't acceptable. So I just trained my mind to be smart, to be disciplined, to be hardworking. And on the surface, it worked pretty well. Got good grades, got a scholarship into my dream school. I went on to earn an MBA, and then I built a successful business. On the surface, it sounds pretty good, right? But all that came with a huge cost, because all those years I had to suppress my emotions and disconnect from parts of myself. And the thing about emotions is that you can't shove them down forever. It's like a beach ball. You can put it down underwater. You can keep it there for a while, but eventually it's going to pop back up. And for me, in my 20s, those emotions started to surface, but I didn't want to feel them. They felt like a distraction. They felt like something that would get in the way of my goals. So what did I do? The very same thing so many men around the world do. I learned to numb myself. At first, it was with alcohol. Would go out every weekend, get drunk with my buddies so I wouldn't have to feel anything. Later on, I discovered cannabis. And I realized that if an uncomfortable feeling was coming up, I could just get high, shoot the energy into my head, and then I wouldn't have to deal with it. But eventually the beach ball started to come up and I couldn't keep it there. I was 28 and I'd achieved almost everything I wanted. And yet inside I was a complete mess. And that's when I realized something needed to change. So I went on a spiritual journey and I decided to confront what was going on inside of me. And through different experiences and plant medicine journeys, I start to reconnect with my heart. And I got to be honest with you, at first it was really uncomfortable because all this stuff I'd pushed down for years, the old fear, the unprocessed heartbreak, the shame I never dealt with, it all came back up. And I just didn't know how to deal with this. I had never learned. But thank God I had some great mentors who shared with me some powerful emotional processing techniques, some meditations, some movement practices so I could circulate the energy. And over time, all that old stuff started to clear. And on the other side of that, something amazing started to happen. All of a sudden, I didn't only have access to cognitive intelligence. Now I could connect with emotional and relational and spiritual intelligence. I wasn't just a smart, hardworking dude. Now I was becoming a full spectrum man. And that's when life started to be so much more fun. Now in 2026, the world is changing in major ways. We can see it all around us. And one of the ways that that's happening is that masculinity is evolving. This old model of be tough, don't feel anything, work hard, it started to dissolve. And now we're starting to expand into a bigger definition of what it means to be a man, where it's okay to connect with our emotions. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be intuitive. Recently, I was watching something on YouTube. There's a basketball player in Chicago named Derrick Rose, a great basketball player from the 2010s. And they were honoring him by retiring his jersey. And all of his teammates were there to pay homage to him. And it was so beautiful. It was so touching to see these big, powerful athletes share their love, their deep respect with their brother. And these guys were sharing tears. They were telling funny stories. I don't think anybody who watched that couldn't shed a tear. It was too moving. And that's when I realized this is it. This is the new model. You can be an amazing athlete. You can be strong in your body and intelligent and well-spoken and emotional and heartfelt. All of that can coexist now. This is what we're stepping into. This is what we're invited into. And if we try to hang on to the old model, it just won't work anymore because the world is changing too fast. So if you're in a place in your life where you're tired of pushing that beach ball down the water, or if your heart is coming online, but it's feeling intense, I want to share with you 4 things that have made a huge impact on me and I still use every day on this journey that might help you as well. So number 1, I invite you to engage daily in practices to connect with your heart, because we need to rebuild that relationship after years of ignoring it in a way. Something I love to do first thing when I wake up, when I'm still laying in bed, is just put my hands in prayer position and connect with gratitude and just say, thank you, thank you, thank you for this day, for this life, for this opportunity I have today to show up in the world. And then I put my hands on my heart and I say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And just let myself feel love for myself, for my heart, for this life. In this practice, it takes 2 minutes, but it gives us a chance to start the day connected with gratitude, connected with love, and connected with the heart. Something else I love to do is when I'm working out, to not just think about random stuff the whole time, but let myself feel my body, feel the aliveness, feel the strength that's there. And you can do the same thing. Or if you go for a walk, instead of just thinking, let yourself breathe into the heart, breathe into the body, feel yourself as you're walking. And my personal practice is to spend more time cuddling. When we're cuddling with someone we love, there's nothing to think about. There's nothing to analyze. Just let yourself feel the sweetness, feel the love, feel the delight of that moment, and enjoy it. My second recommendation is to allow yourself to feel everything. The opposite of suppressing is allowing. And the truth is, our emotions, they're not enemies. They're not bugs in the system. They're actually very useful. And when we let ourselves feel them, they're like clouds in the summer sky. They just pass on through. But they can teach us about ourselves, what we like, what we don't like. And when we listen to our emotions, it can guide us on our way so we can align with a life that feels more joyful, more beautiful, more loving. My third recommendation is to learn to be honest about how you feel. If you have deep love and appreciation for someone in your life, let them know, share that with them. But if you're feeling angry or disappointed with a situation, have an honest conversation with that person. Respectfully let them know what's going on so that together you can realign. And if you're just feeling a lot of overwhelm and stress, let someone know about it. You don't have to carry this all alone. Our emotions are meant to be shared so that we can be a team in this game of life. My fourth recommendation for you is to learn to make decisions not from the head, but from the heart. For years, we've tried to optimize our lives by asking ourselves, what should I do? What's the best move? But I've learned that a much more powerful question is to ask, what feels best for me? So if you're deciding between option A and option B, feel into each option. And one of them will feel lighter, more beautiful, more exciting. And that's how your soul can speak to you and guide you on your path. So this journey from the head to the heart, it's a profound one, but it's so worthwhile. Personally now, I'm in a place where finally I'm experiencing so much more love and beauty and joy every day. And truly I want that for everybody. And it's entirely possible. But we just have to realize that true strength is not how much you can suppress. True strength is how much you can feel, how much you can face, and still show up for life. And living with a beautiful, open heart, it won't make you weak. It's going to make you whole. So keep using your mind. It's a great tool. But have the courage to let your heart lead the way, because ultimately it knows what's best for you.